Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for January 19th to the 31st. This is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right in. This is going to be, you're going to be having a lot of conversations, Sagittarius. And I really want you to just go get a bucket of popcorn, get a Diet Coke, your favorite beverage, Zima, whatever it is, because we got to talk, okay? Speaking of having a lot of conversations, if you saw your January forecast, by the way, you know the last half of January pretty much comes with a disclaimer. It's really animated, and it can be a little overwhelming. I mean, welcome to Bonkersville. This is going to be a truly pivotal time in your life. And, you know, I'm looking at what's going on for you. And when I say you are going to be networking, there's a lot of conversations we're going to be having, okay, for the next 2 weeks. And even if you don't initiate them, you're just going to be communicating. And I'll explain why. But just know that the next 2 weeks, we do have alignments and aspects that we've never had in our lifetime. We have some that we'll never have again. So, and a lot of powerful aspects. So I really want you to understand what's happening here. Okay. And you see that normally I put the blue asterisk next to the best aspects. There are none. And yeah, there's a whole backside. We're just wait till we go to the back. But there are no challenging aspects. These are all great aspects. All right. So no challenging ones, but just really potent ones. What does that mean? It's a matter of how you use this energy. Okay. Because we are at a moment in time where the energy, it does feel like a crescendo. You will see that the aspects and alignments and everything that's happening, it's just getting mightier and louder, meaning you're getting more worked up. You're getting a little bit more motivated, like you're on the dance floor at the high school reunion. The DJ is playing the Four Non Blondes, and it's building, and you kicked off your heels. You can't wait for that chorus, and that's what you're going to feel right now, okay? You're going to be feeling it the first week. You're going to feel it in your gut. Something's building, something's coming, something's building. Okay, what is it going to be, right? You know that your life is on the brink of dramatic change. At this point, there's going to be a really big reality shift, especially Monday, January 19th, which I am calling the flashpoint. Now, I dropped these forecasts a few days before the actual week. So if you're watching it before the week begins, happy Martin Luther King Day if you're in the U.S. on Monday. But don't forget, also Sunday, the 18th, we have that gigantic new moon in Capricorn. And as you know, if you saw your last week's reading, then you are definitely seeing some money matters unfold with this new moon. It rules your second house. All right. Finances, your income. It is the second house. It's earned income potential, right? But also material possessions. You could be getting things. It's also self-worth, self-value. So that energy of that potent new moon in Capricorn will be spilling over into the first week. I would even say the rest of the month, okay? It was Saturn ruled, yeah? And Saturn, as you know, is life lessons and karma. You still have Mars in Capricorn as well, exalted. So something's forming. Plant them seeds, okay? Set bold intentions and just put wheels in motion for new beginnings. Because literally on the 19th, we enter Aquarius season. We enter a new season. So you are going to feel a great shift right off the bat. Capricorn energy, by the way, because you'll still feel it, okay? You're going to be motivated, making more money, working with your finances. Capricorn energy is very mature. It's very grounded. It's old bones. It's old soul. It's traditions. But Aquarius energy is very forward thinking, and it's innovative, and it's rebellious. And Aquarius rules the future. And so while Capricorn says, let's do things the way they always were, we're going to follow the rules. Aquarius says, not today. F that. We're going to change the system. In fact, we're going to disrupt it. And so at this juncture, you are starting to see the old world crumble. You're starting to see your new you adapting to the brand new era that we are moving into. All right. If you want to consider Capricorn as like boomer energy, Aquarius being Gen Z, sure, that's fine. But they're both Saturn ruled, and Saturn is reality. So you have the best of both worlds, really. So then, and Monday, yeah, this is the day that, you know, the chorus comes, you're screaming to the song and whatnot because it's Aquarius season. You're going to have all this Aquarius energy just run through your bloodstream. You're going to feel this rush of endorphins because all the hard work that Capricorn season required from you, well, now you see the payoff, okay? And your focus will be on your progress and freedom and liberation. And again, your future, you just doing you. That is Aquarius energy, known to be very independent, but Aquarius rules humanity. So everything's for the greater good, for the collective. You will feel this. And the reason why I say you are going to be having a lot of conversations is because Aquarius rules your third house. Okay. Third house is communication. It's writing. It's teaching. A lot of y'all possibly, you know, maybe taking courses to become a teacher or educate in some way. And maybe you already are. Yeah. Maybe you're the one giving online courses. The third house rules the internet as well. So there's a lot of potential here. Yeah, third house is also travel, a lot of family energy. Remember, you've been going through a lot of family stuff. This would be more isolated to siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, even neighbors. You can throw in there like your local community. There will be strong emphasis. But when I say communication, all forms, okay? Advertising, PR, marketing, branding yourself. So that is where the concentration of energy will be for you for the next 4 weeks, okay? Especially the end of January. We do have that rare lineup. We do have a 5-planet conjunction. So therefore, these 2 weeks, you will go through some of your greatest change of all of 2026 right off the bat already. Like we haven't even moved into February yet. So you are going to have significant change because Aquarius energy is when you become the change. You dare to be you dare to think different, yeah, and speak different and do differently. Remember, Aquarius energy marching to your own drumbeat. Now, Monday, the stack of aspects. No, we'll never have this again. Remember the new moon that happened on Sunday? It was part of we had a mini grand trine, minor grand trine with that new moon. Well, we got another one here on Monday, okay? And very different. So we got these back-to-back bursts of potential. You have an exalted Mars still in Capricorn, sextiling Saturn and Pisces, and Saturn will sextile Uranus and Taurus, and Mars trining Uranus. So there's your triangle, there's your pyramid. There's this flow of energy. It's a gift, right? And it's all at 27 degrees. They're all meeting up at 27 degrees exact. This is harmonics. This is sacred geometry. This is something bigger that we could never perceive. Yeah. Saturn, ruler of both Capricorn and Aquarius, is at the apex. So there is a level of authority here. And for a lot of y'all, that's literal as the teacher, but also Saturn is in Pisces in your 4th house of home and family. So as a parent as well. And so it comes in a lot of different forms, but remember, there's 2 sextiles. You have plenty of opportunity here. Okay? With like I said, with money, with material possessions, food, if that's a thing for you, it's part of the 2nd house. Family, as I mentioned, but don't forget, you've got Uranus and Taurus in your 6th house. So that's not only your everyday routines and health and self-improvement, but it's work as well. All right? Like colleagues, employees, contractors, assignments, things like that. Okay? There's going to be a lot of energy here. And Uranus is involved. Uranus, the planet of change. Aquarius is modern ruler. Aquarius has 2 rulers. All right. So when I say Monday is one heck of a new beginning, you got this ramp of the new moon with a last of its kind mini grand trine right before, just days before the 5-planet conjunction. It actually starts on Monday in Aquarius. This is a big deal, all right? And it is the 19th. 1 plus 9 equals 10. That's a 1. New beginning. So please do not weekend at Bernie's this day. Go out there, take inspired action, be present in the moment, and fully commit to your future self, because you got Mars sextile Saturn. This only happens every 2 years. You got the 2 malefic planets working together harmoniously. They've rolled up their sleeves for you. This is endurance and willpower. And this is you being hyper proactive for your long-term goals. This is your grit, at its highest frequency. And of course, there's going to be a lot of energy. Again, home, family, significant other, parents, children, real estate as well. You buying a place, and remember, money's involved. And you got Mars trine Uranus. That only happens once a year. This is the day. And this is Uranus. So this is a big wake-up call. This is when you feel driven for dramatic change, especially everyday activities and work. And then you have Saturn sextile Uranus, the 2 rulers of Aquarius. Last time we had this was the mid-1990s. Yeah. Hello. You got mail. Yeah. Hello, internet. And Aquarius actually rules technology, but Saturn and Uranus, we're talking about father-son here, okay? It supports, again, long-term goals, achievements, your breakthroughs, your awakening, innovation, sudden, revolutionary, yet sustainable change that you choose to create for your ambitions and your dreams. And these new systems that you're integrating, that you're initiating. And yes, this is 3 areas of your life that's impacted. So remember, Saturn is reality checks, but he's also commitments too. And therefore, you're steering the ship here. All right. And as I said, we're never going to have this again. This is very unique. And Mars being in Capricorn still, very grounding. Yeah. Very grounding. Please use that. You could do some grounding. You could do some earthing. And I say that because you're about to enter a 2-week period of overstimulation, of urgency, of the world moving fast around you that can bring possible burnout, So use this aspect, stay grounded, have that full self-awareness, because the same day you got Venus conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. The first of many conjunctions to come. This is at 3 degrees. And this is stimulation. This is electric. It's magnetic. This is when you feel this willingness to shake things up, to have change, because Pluto is transformation and regeneration, and Pluto has entered the building. So with Venus conjunct Pluto, has a lot to do with money and sex. All right? And love and relationships. It's Pluto, right? It's a ruler of the underworld. So you will have, remember, he brings that intensity. You're going to have these intense feelings and depth when it comes to love and money and power and your values and investments. It's an Aquarius. You're going to be thinking outside the box. This is in your 3rd house too. So again, there may be some things that you communicate this day. Okay. Just circle this day in your calendar. It's going to be it's like this day deserves its own Netflix series. The other thing is the 3rd house is signing things. There could be something here. There could be exchanging vows. This is the 3rd house. You got Venus and Pluto. A lot that you have so much potential here. All right. And even though we're only a few days away from the 5-planet conjunction in Aquarius, you've got density here in Aquarius. You have a stellium. You have the sun, Venus, Pluto, and the moon. That's right. The moon in Aquarius as well. But then Tuesday, January 20th, well, you have Mercury sextile Neptune. We'll talk about that later. But then Mercury moves into Aquarius. So then now you got 5-planet stellium in Aquarius. And Mercury in Aquarius, that is just original, authentic, intelligent, forward thinking, okay, ahead of the curve. You got the planet of the mind and the sign of the future. So this can be very, very cerebral for you because Mercury rules the third house. He's at home. And in Aquarius, where he's considered exalted, but Aquarius rules your third house. And so you are going to be, all right, networking, like you're just going to be communicating a lot or working on communications, okay? And he's going to be here the rest of the month. So you're definitely going to feel charged up with all this Aquarius energy. Remember, it's freedom. It's freeing yourself. It's rebellion. It's all for the greater good. It's Ethan Hawke in Dead Poet Society standing on his desk saying, "Oh, Captain, my Captain." And this isn't your typical Mercury and Aquarius ingress because Wednesday, January 21st, you got the Sun conjunct Mercury, 2 degrees. You got Mercury Kazemi. You just had Mars Kazemi. You just had Venus Kazemi. Yeah? Now you got Mercury. Okay? So you got this intelligent mind getting a rebirth, an upgrade. This is a day where you're going to have this crystal clear clarity and epiphanies and wake-up calls. It's in your third house. Third house isn't just communication. Third house, again, is the mind. Then Thursday, January 22nd, that's when you have Mercury conjunct Pluto. All right. So essentially, you see, you got 3 conjunctions back to back to back with the Sun conjunct Mercury, Mercury conjunct Pluto, and Venus conjunct Pluto as well. Buckle up. All right. This is all in your third house. You could be signing things or we're going to be, again, just doing, communicating, but again, family energy. A lot of y'all are going to take these short trips to visit people. There is this sense, even social media, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some big, like you really got to tweet something. All right. But this is going to be big because you're no longer driving in comfort mode here or echo mode. And it doesn't matter if you're 20 or 30 or 70 or 80. This is for everybody. Things are about to get real. This is forward momentum like you never seen. A triple Kazemi again after that new moon. And that's the other thing. It's not about whether you go slow or fast either. It's how you navigate. Okay, with Mercury conjunct Pluto, this is you got Queen's Gambit level thinking here with Mercury merging his energies with Pluto, ruler of the underworld, the planet that digs deep and excavates and investigates. This is going to be deeply psychological. This is going to be very forensic. It's probing secrets, right? Truths coming to the surface. All right, and the other thing is, remember Scorpio season? Yeah, Sagittarius? Here's the thing. That was a strong one, all right? Because Pluto is in Aquarius, sure, that activates all this third house energy. But Pluto natively rules your 12th. And so you've got the physical mind and the higher mind activated. The 12th house is the subconscious. Okay, it's healing, it's spirituality. And so when I say truths coming to the surface, you being honest with yourself, that requires the deepest level of self-love. And you may be going really back in your subconscious, right? Just what is the subconscious? It's where we store our memories. You may be doing a lot of shadow work, a lot of unrooting things that you feel have held you back. This is going to be a big time for you. Okay, intense conversations, deep conversations, but also remember deep thoughts, but clear thoughts, confidence. Okay, words are definitely going to be said. It's Mercury conjunct Pluto, the planet of power as well, and empowerment and destruction. Okay, so this is a great day to be honest with yourself. There could be some revelations, not only from you, but from people that you know. And again, Mercury conjunct Pluto is happening in Aquarius, the rebellious sign that does its own thing. So just be very mindful. This is potent. Words can become sticks and stones. Be responsive, not reactive. And remember, everything is energy, vibration, frequency, your thoughts, the words that come from your mouth, the inflection of your voice. Be very, very in the moment. Yeah. and mindful. Your future self is watching you. So think about, what reality do you want to create for your future self? Because it's happening conveniently at the same time Mars will sextile Neptune, which we'll talk about later. But Friday, January 23rd, that's when you have the Sun conjunct Pluto. So Mars, Venus, Mercury all had cazimi, and now you have Pluto cazimi. All right. So you have the planet of death and rebirth literally going through its own death and rebirth. This is big. This is penetrating. This is really deep and commanding. And you've got the sun, this life force, right? The reason 8 billion people on this planet are alive, the sun merging its energies with the planet of transformation in the sign of the 8 billion people on this planet. So when I said in your annual forecast, your 2026 forecast, that you would be adapting to change happening around you, well, you inevitably become part of that change. So this is a day where you may ask some really big questions, as in, what is best for me? Yeah? What should I do to become the best version of myself? What are the changes that I'm going to make? Because this is still all about you on an individual level, but seeing any blind spots on your path to enlightenment, okay? What makes you authentically you? Because like I said in your January forecast, this is all about the truth, your truth, standing for truth. If you can handle the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, okay? The truth sets you free. And we are in Aquarius season, where a lot of people will be freeing themselves from things that they no longer need, moving into 2026, all right? And yes, this does mean, if you've been lying to yourself about anything, this is when you're just like, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore, right? Because this is a day where forces beyond our control may push you to face something that you've been avoiding, all right? So again, that's why it's happening in Aquarius. It's all about freeing yourself, freedom, right? So you can be your authentic self. And this is also visibility. This is the sun. This is empowerment. This is the cracking of the egg for your death and rebirth, your identity reset, the new, stronger you for the world that you're building, this new world, this new reality, this new timeline that you're creating. Remember, change is the only constant in this world. And the secret of change is to focus all your energy, not on fighting the old, but building the new. Thank you, Socrates. And wow, look at what's happening that same day. Mars is moving into Aquarius at 0 degrees, of course, where pure potential exists. So here's your 5-planet conjunction in Aquarius. All right. You got Mars, Pluto, the Sun, Mercury, Venus, all of them conjunct 0 to 7 degrees in Aquarius. These early degrees of new beginnings. Okay. So again, never in our lifetime have we had this. Yeah. It's been 250 years since Pluto's been in Aquarius. We've had Pluto in Aquarius, for a little bit of last year, but not with 5 other planets. Now, the last time Mars was in Aquarius, by the way, was 2 years ago. So I want you to think about the first 2 weeks of February 2024. What happened for you around that time? Because Pluto actually snuck into Aquarius. Yeah, like a, Taylor Swift concert. I don't know. Snuck into Aquarius, was there for a little bit with Mars. And then he went back into Capricorn. But this is different, okay? You can get a little bit of an idea of some things that were happening, especially with, again, your local community, communication, siblings, travel. This is different, though. The 5-planet conjunction with a reborn Pluto. So this is this seismic shift that you will feel, yeah? And even if it's subtle, there's still something within you. You got the planet of action and determination in the sign of your future and freedom and individuality. You won't want change. You'll demand it. You're going to fight for it. It's Mars, the God warrior, right? And this day, by the way, the moon will be in Aries, sextiling Mars. So that pioneering spirit, this big emotional initiation, you're going to feel it. You're done with the small things. Yeah. You got bigger fish to fry here with these big, powerful aspects. And Aries, remember, rules your fifth house of joy and pleasure. Like, this is truly special. Yeah. But it is a lot of energy. Okay. Your body, consider it like a circuit breaker. There's going to be a lot of energy. So do some stretching, some breath work, yoga, go climb a tree, whatever you want to do. All right. But most importantly, these conjunctions are with Pluto. All right. So the main thing here is being honest with yourself about the changes that you want for your new era, change that's non-negotiable, because you will experience circumstances where you will have to be the snake shedding its skin, the phoenix rising from the ashes. Remember, Pluto is in the building, all right? So, and Mars will be here until March 1st, yeah, in Aquarius. Yeah, I got you. We'll talk about his journey through Aquarius in your third house where you got words to say. But this is really about bringing a lot of meaningful things into your life as well, things that you've really wanted. And anyway, so let's talk about the Neptune sextiles. So I had to package it together. Remember, Tuesday, January 20th, right? Circle it in your notebooks. Mercury will sextile Neptune. And then Thursday, January 22nd, that's when you got Mars sextile Neptune, both in Pisces, right? Neptune's in Pisces at 29 degrees. Couple things here. Those 2 days are just the peak of these aspects. So you're going to feel both of them strongly throughout the week. And Neptune and Pisces, remember, that's your fourth house of home and family. All right. So these are great. These are those windows of opportunity where you take action, you get rewarded for it. Mercury here says, oh, I got a vision of what I'm meant to be, what I'm meant to do. Mars is the action you take for it, pursuing your ideals, your vision. Yeah, that's Neptune. Mars is going to help you implement them. And so a lot more energy around home and family. But here's the bigger thing is that these are both at 29 degrees, that critical anaretic degree, right? It's a graduation. But they're at 29 degrees Pisces. So this is the last degree and the last sign of the zodiac. This is truly the end of a cycle, the end of an era. This is a major rebirth that's happening in your life. Pisces energy just in general is healing. It's very spiritual. It's like a spiritual detox, emotional purging from anything that you've been going through with home and family. And this is you engaging with your chi, your prana, your, chakras, kundalini, flow state, hemisync, connecting with the ether. You might even do a peace sign selfie because Neptune rules photography. Anyway, truly the end of an era for your new one. Saturday, January 24th, you got Juno with the nodes of fate. Juno, that's still in Capricorn, is going to trine the south node in Virgo, sextile the north node in Pisces. What? Yeah, I know. You got Juno, the divine feminine, Jupiter's wife, right? Libra's asteroid. So Juno represents the balance of power in relationships. She brings that, okay? And she's all about love, marriage, partnerships, contracts, agreements, but making sure that everything's balanced. There's equality. Juno is negotiating on your behalf with the nodes of fate. And you've got Juno with the South Node in Virgo in your 10th house of career, and with the North Node in Pisces in your 4th house of home and family. So there's something fated happening around this time. Yeah. just see. There may be a contract, there may be some agreements, there may be things that you're signing. Like I said, you got to be talking. Your fingers are. You got to be swiping and stuff. Because we got iPads now. But remember, Juno's in Capricorn, your second. So this is self-worth, it's self-value, it's the things that you value, material possessions. You got that new refrigerator, whatever it is. Remember, second house rules food, but then also money and finances. Pay attention to this week. Now, Monday, January 26th, for the first time since 1861, Neptune moves into Aries, 0 degrees. This is official. It's permanent stations. Now going back to Pisces, okay? And you got a preview of Neptune in Aries from March 30th to October 22nd last year. So what happened for you in leadership, in new ventures, anything that you were starting, launching, but also love and romance, family and children, creative projects, having babies, the 5th house, procreation. So those are going to come up again. Neptune in Aries is your remember, that's that spiritual warrior archetype. I did a video on what you can expect with Neptune and Aries in your sign, okay? For the next, forever. It's going to be here until 2039. Remember, Neptune is so out there, outer planet. It takes a long time to orbit. So Neptune officially leaving Pisces after 14 years and now moving into Aries for just as long. All right. So this is that true initiation of your fighting spirit, your transcendent leadership, being that visionary artist, compassionate hero. Anyway, we'll talk about, we got 14 years to talk about this. And I did that video as well. I'll leave it at the end. But it is a good time to start creating new mantras, right? Especially this week with all this Plutonian energy. Oh, you will need to see the forest for the trees. Okay. There's going to be a lot happening this week. All right. You're going to go through a lot this week as well. Every time. This is a lot of energy. And also, the moon will be in Taurus. The moon is exalted in Taurus. We actually have a first quarter moon this same day in Taurus. And it's going to sextile Jupiter in Cancer. So it does look like there is something here with work, with maybe colleagues, employees, maybe even health matters as well. But it is just like a checkpoint, all right? Especially your values and resources and just adapting to this new world. Remember, we're in the year of the fire horse. We're in a 1 year, the Great Awakening. You tipped into your brand new era. There's no going back. We don't know how to do that. Out with the old, in with the new, all right? But also 18 days from now, Saturn will move into Aries, meaning they'll be conjunct, Saturn and Neptune, all the way up to February 20th, the day of their perfection. At 0 degrees, Aries, the beginning of the beginning. So remember, that's the Great Reset. But before we get there, Tuesday, January 27th, we have the Great Disruptor, and that is Mars conjunct Pluto, all right? The two most powerful planets. So they conjunct every 2 years. And this conjunction, this is powerful. It's this deep, raw power that you'll feel, and it's in the most rebellious sign. So this is a particle accelerator. This is an amplifier. It's a Twisted Sister song. This is big, okay? This is a day that, there's no way someone's going to steal your lunch money, because you're going to feel this rush of empowerment. This is adrenaline. It is willpower. It's desire for all your passions and your transformation, your evolution. And we're talking physically, emotionally, sexually, mentally, spiritually, all right? It's Mars and Pluto. And again, this is all in your 3rd house. So it's like you're going to be buying, 2 megaphones off Amazon. You're going to have things to say. This is your 3rd house. There's going to be some words, all right? And also 12th house energy. So there's so much, it's Scorpio energy, right? Pluto being Scorpio's ruler. And so there's mystery there. There's a sense of mystery. That's why like Pluto digs deep, got to learn the truth of the matter. But it's also hidden matters being in your 12th house. So there could be a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes for you around this time as well. Either way, this is a great aspect when used correctly, but it is potent. Okay, remember Pluto can be extreme. And like I said, destruction. Mars can be like a laser, like a spear. Long hair, don't care, right? So this could be a day of just cutting cords, of power struggles, of power trips. It could be the spider bite to the superhero you become. Remember, it's all about power. Or maybe you've seen The Boys on Amazon. They could go either way. But ultimately, this is like the feeling of having nothing to instantly like having everything, okay? So channel this energy with precision, handle it with care. Remember, you're on a karmic journey. Everything has ripple effect. So go with the flow with a go if it feels intense, okay? Because this is not standalone. Yeah, Mars conjunct Pluto is a very powerful aspect, but it's part of a 5-planet conjunction. This is like 50 times the energy you're going to feel. And we all know energy needs to be discharged. Okay? So use this aspect. Don't let it use you. Own it. All right? And if you watch for if you're a cross watcher, if you watch for your rising or your moon or for your husband, Dave, or whoever, right? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius are going to feel all of these aspects the most, all the conjunctions. Yeah. And I'm throwing in the fire signs. Y'all are going to feel it strongly as well. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Now, if you know your chart, your natal chart, if you have planets 0 to 5 degrees in any other signs, to be honest, but primarily Aquarius, but any of the, air signs, you're really going to feel it. Now, what else are you going to feel, Sagittarius? The moon will be in Gemini this day. So the moon will actually trine Pluto and Mars, which is great. That's amazing. That's wonderful. It's stimulating. Gemini is the ruler of the third, right? Gemini rules that's his home. So there you have got this overlap here with communication and just thinking. But also remember, Gemini rules the nervous system, so this could be restless energy on one of the most powerful days of the entire year. Yeah? The last thing is that Gemini rules your 7th house. So there really, truly may be something with partnerships and relationships and love and marriage and commitments that comes up around this time. Yeah. Now, not on the whiteboard, the most important, significant day, I would say, of the past few centuries, January 28th, my birthday, along with Jackson Pollock and Nick Carter. So we're going to take 1 second to thank you all for all your kindness and your support. I hope you see that doing your readings brings me so much joy. I love doing it, and I wouldn't be here without you. So I do appreciate it. It means so much to me. And if you do watch my live streams, which I do on the weekends, you will know. And listen, the last half of 2025, it wasn't a cakewalk. Yeah, there was a lot of people that were going through things. Yeah. And same here. If you saw my live streams, well, you know. But yeah, you know. If you know, you know. So I did experience a lot of trauma, a lot of grief, a lot of, blackouts, physical therapy, as well as my dog was going through a lot of health issues. And there was this 1 in a trillion chance to have 7 challenging, long term aspects that all converged over the past 5-6 months. My natal chart that brought indescribable circumstances. Like, I've never been involved in a federal crime case, for instance. Like, that's still going on. The universe is full of surprises, but I am happy to report that half of those aspects are. And so next week will be the end of another one. I'm not out of the woods yet, but I went through my big rebirth moment and I'm relieved. But I want to thank you all because your comments, your all of it, it got me through it. So again, thank you for all your kindness and support and patience. And there is one, and Thursday, January 29th, Mercury conjunct Venus. Okay. Yeah. That's like a baby conjunction. Those two planets are, they're so close, and so it happens more frequently than the other ones, but it's still really great. This is you just being very diplomatic. Maybe there was some intense conversations or actions, the past week. The moon will be in Cancer, squaring Neptune in Aries. So there may be a little bit of confusion. There may be a little bit of fog around relationships for y'all. You still have Jupiter in Cancer, so in your 8th, but there is something here that just says for you Sagittarius, you're meant to go through something, okay? You're meant to go through something, or you have been, but you're coming out stronger on the other side, and you have Jupiter blessing you. So either way, by the end of the month, you're going to go through change. Okay? So let's get started. Let's see what is going on with you, Sagittarius, for the last 2 weeks of January. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. All right, Sagittarius. I do how are y'all doing? What are y'all up to, Sagittarius? Tell me what's going on. I do a traditional Celtic cross spread, offers the best overview. Some of y'all really are traveling, especially like the latter half of January, but it does look like or teaching or going back to school, but it does look like if you're like, no, I'm not. It's the end of January is like when you're probably going to start planning something. Anyway, Sagittarius, if we need to pull clarifiers, we will. All right. I love y'all. Let's get started. Let's see what is going on here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No. Yep. Well, you see, okay. Well, you see that you're good. This is going to be a very significant time for you. You got all these court cards, all major arcana, other than that 3 of Pentacles. We'll talk about it. You have the Hangman. Perfect. Amazing. There are things that are going to, remember, you're the only sign where you have this blend of everything that's going to, everything you're going to experience for the next few weeks. This blend of like the physical mind and the higher mind, like conscious, subconscious, all of that. And so use that as, like a superpower. Okay. It is, the Hanged Man is someone who is determined to have change in his life, and he's hanged himself upside down so he can see the world in a completely different way. And you would resonate with this because you're Sagittarius. You're ruled by Jupiter. You rule the 9th house. And so that's all about your worldview and your philosophies and how you see things and imparting wisdom. But the reason why he did this is because the old ways were no longer working. So this is saying there must be some sort of aha moment or wake up call, or you have to put effort into this hasn't been working, this hasn't been working, so I'm going to do things differently now. I'm going to see things differently now. All right. And you do see the halo around his head. It's enlightenment here. And there he is connected to, the world card. But anyway, this is really great because when you have that, which is very subconscious, the Hanged Man attributed to the planet Neptune, you got the King of Swords in the heart of your spread. And so this is interesting. Two things. A, this is the sword suit. Swords are the mental suit. It's communication. So when I said that you're going to have a lot of conversations, you're going to be communicating, there's going to be a lot going on upstairs as well. There you go, right? Here's your affirmation. He's in the heart of your spread. Now, Pluto, who is power, right? You will have all the power. Just remember, with great power comes great responsibility. The King of Swords, secondly, is Aquarius. Okay, kings are fixed, swords are air. You got the fixed air sign. That's great. So it looks like you're going to make big decisions, and maybe even big announcements. Things are going to go your way. You're possibly signing things. You're taking a lot of action here. The King of Swords is such a leader, yeah? But he's also like a member of Mensa. Just brilliant mind, right? And remember, you will have Mercury in Aquarius. Aquarius is known as like the genius, right? I'm not just saying that because I'm an Aquarius. It's a thing. It's a thing. 3 of Pentacles in your challenge area. So for the next 2 weeks, be very mindful. Remember, I said he can be really, it's a lot of power. He can be a little bit intimidating. He can be a little forceful. He's the King of Swords. And you've got that 3 of Pentacles working with others, right? In some capacity, bonding, communicating in your challenge area. And so just be mindful here. Remember, this is all potential. There could be something here that goes a little bit sideways. Should there be some force or powerful words. And the other thing is, remember, with all that Plutonian energy, all those conjunctions with Pluto, how I said it's all about the truth and your truth. Well, ultimately, that's what swords are. Yeah. And this is the only king that looks directly at you, meaning he has nothing to hide. He's faced all his truths. That's what's empowered him. No one can hide anything from this king. Okay? Because he's brilliant too. All right? He's really good at strategy. You're going to be good. You're going to be great. Just be very mindful. There could be something that goes a little sideways. And the other thing is, it feels like there may be something that you are waiting to do. There's something that you might want to be a part of, like a program or some organization. There could also be something as in like work related as well that hasn't happened yet. And the key word is yet. All right. So remember, there's, that element of like practicing patience. You're going to be fine. You've got that Queen of Pentacles in your crown. You just want to take care of others. Yeah. You just want to take care of those that, really matter to you, the ones, your loved ones. She's like the mother hen here, but she is the richest queen as well. She has all that power, right? And so it feels like what you're doing here is manifesting something. It's almost like you are going to look for a new job or a side hustle or do like a promotion, or there's something here where it's like, I need to protect my lover, my family, my children, my, I don't know, the PTA club, whatever it is. There's something here. It could even be like fundraising that you're thinking of doing, but whatever it is, it's great. It's like, selfless. You got the Lovers in the root of your spread. So, traditionally, the Lovers is really known about choices. It's really like choices. Like you have the power to choose, and you always do, right? Relationship stuff is going to be still a thing. Yeah. Venus and her conjunction. Venus is relationships. You have Juno in the mix, represents relationships. You have all these conjunctions with Pluto, who rules the 8th house. That's deepening and building relationships. And that's the same thing here. There's something about commitments that by the end of January, there's going to be some change, but also conversations that you do have. All right. And then you got the Hermit in your future. The Hermit is the wise man, the wizard, the hermit in the cave. So the fact that you have all these Pluto conjunctions, and remember, Pluto natively rules your 12th, which is the subconscious, which I said spirituality, but it's also like rest and retreat. It's going within. It's a lot of introspection. Okay. And remember, he's got a little lantern light. He wants to know his future. He wants to know what's next. He's gone through all of this. He said some words, worked on his commitments, saving for the remember, providing. Okay. I did tell you the new moon in Capricorn, all that Capricorn energy that you're still going to feel. It's your second house, food, but the Hermit in your future, it really is very telling about the fact that your 12th house is going to be so activated. And then also, we do have on February 1st, we do have a full moon in Leo. All right. And that one is strong. And that one is going to be Leo rules your 9th, which is spirituality too, your belief system. So it's kind of like you're on a journey. There's a sense of like broadening your horizons, seeing things in different ways, but in a way where you're really going to make changes about it too. Okay. And once you do, you're going to take your time to process everything and come out stronger. All right. So take that time for yourself. A lot of it may be career and work related, by the way. All right, Sag, let's see what's going on here. Let's, if you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, tell me what is going on, Sagittarius, and hype and all that. You know I love y'all. All right, so let's see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're good. You know that, right? Oh, wow. All right, you have the King of Wands. This is like epitome of passion. Remember, everything's about passion, going after your passions, right? And the King of Wands, yeah, he is someone who had such a transformative experience getting to where he's at. And the biggest thing here is just don't resist change. Yeah. Change will happen, and change is going to take you where you need to go. But also remember, be that change. Yeah. You see the salamander at his feet. Back in the medieval times, they were considered fireproof. They could live through fire. And, wands are, have the spirit of fire. And so he is the entrepreneur. He is the CEO. He is the leader. He's the King of Wands. This is amazing. But he's got this sense of he's very proud of himself too. Like, he's made achievements. And so that's almost like the direction that you're going. There's this sense of recognition that is very possible here that you're going for. You have the Two of Swords in your external factors area. So it looks like two things are happening here. There's going to be a little bit of because you have the Two of Swords with the Hermit, right? So there may be something here that has to do with, should I stay? Should I go? You can't sit on it too long, right? Those swords get heavy. They're going to, and then you've got to go within. Yeah. You see that she's got her back turned to the sea and the moon. So she's not in touch with her emotions. She's not, her intuition. So really take that time. But the other thing is, there may be someone in your life that may be also I don't know. Yeah. It can be work related. It can be relationships, whatever's happening in your life. Right. But there is a sense of partnerships again, because Two of Swords is attributed to the moon in Libra, and Libra rules partnerships, relationships, love, marriage, etc. But you do have a lot of work stuff, and then you also have justice. So there's another nod to maybe there's something with relationships here. Okay? And you're just seeking that truth. You're just seeking that justice, that fairness. That's all you want, right? You're going to get it. You got that star and your final outcome. The star that is attributed to Aquarius. And so I love this. You're good. The star is all about healing. Yeah. The star comes after the Tower card. And so it's not only healing, but it's realizing what's almost like what your dream is, turning it into reality. You see that the water barrier is pouring onto the land as well. Therefore, you're seeing this growth. You see it's working. You see this card. You see the ibis bird in the back. I can't bring it up too close to the camera because, you know, she's naked and it's like a YouTube thing. But anyway, yeah, but that's two things here. That's knowledge, right? That's the wisdom and knowledge that you're gaining through the experience that you have. And B, that's, I mean, what I said earlier, like she's not wearing any clothes. There's that freedom. There's that freeness, okay? That sense of feeling free. I can be myself in my own skin. I have nothing to hide, all right? And so that's really great. It seems like you're just going to have a big journey for the next 2 weeks. And you're moving in the direction that you need to go. But just make sure you see what it is. This is just, again, expanding your mind, seeing things in different ways. This is making sure that you have ownership of your new perspective, right? And then really processing a lot. You're going to be, you're good. You're good. You actually only got 2 pip cards. Like, what? This is going to be very significant 2 weeks. All right. Thanks so much, Sagittarius. Next week, yeah, we'll do February. And then if you like this reading, it'd be great. If you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's happening. This is big. And yeah, the bonus spread, tier 3 members, really good and legendary members. We're going to do, because here's the thing. The last 2 weeks of January, it feels like a month. All right. So we're going to do the normal monthly. We'll look at love and career, everything, money, all of that. Anyone's welcome to join. This is that one time a year where I say, hey, it'd be great if you become a member. I never promote. I don't ask. I just do it around my birthday time. I'm like, it'd be great because it is very meaningful to me. And it does really like help support the channel, all of that. But anyway, Sagittarius, you know I love y'all. I'm going to see y'all next week. All right. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye.